Imagine waking up one morning to discover that people who lived thousands of years ago, without electricity, computers, or modern machines, may have understood science and technology in ways that still confuse engineers today. What if some of the greatest inventions were not born in modern laboratories, but in ancient temples, stone cities, and forgotten workshops? What if history did not move in a straight line from primitive to advanced, but instead rose, fell, and hid its secrets along the way? This is the story of the hidden technology of ancient civilizations, a story that challenges what we think we know about the past and keeps us questioning how much has been lost to time. For a long time, we were taught that ancient people were simple, struggling to survive with basic tools. They hunted, farmed, and slowly learned how to build shelters. According to this view, real technology only began a few hundred years ago. But as archaeologists dig deeper and scientists study ancient structures more carefully, a different picture is beginning to appear. Across the world, ancient civilizations built monuments so precise, so advanced, and so mysterious that even today we struggle to explain how they did it. One of the most famous examples comes from ancient Egypt. The Great Pyramid of Giza has stood for over 4,500 years. It is made of more than 2 million stone blocks, each weighing several tons. What makes this pyramid truly astonishing is not just its size, but its accuracy. The base of the pyramid is almost perfectly level, with an error of only a few centimeters. Its sides are aligned almost exactly with the 4 cardinal directions: north, south, east, and west. Even with modern tools, achieving this level of precision is extremely difficult. The big question is how the ancient Egyptians did it. They had no cranes, no steel tools, and no modern measuring devices. Yet they managed to cut, transport, and place massive stones with incredible accuracy. Some researchers believe they used advanced surveying techniques based on astronomy. Others suggest they understood mathematics and geometry far better than we once thought. There are even theories that they used machines or methods that have not survived to the present day. Inside the pyramids, the mystery deepens. Narrow shafts point towards specific stars that were important in ancient Egyptian beliefs. The internal chambers are placed in ways that reduce pressure and prevent collapse. Some scientists believe the pyramids may have been designed to manage energy or vibrations within the structure. While these ideas are still debated, one thing is clear: the builders possessed deep knowledge of engineering and physics. Moving east, we find another wonder that challenges our understanding of ancient technology: the city of Mohenjo-Daro in the Indus Valley, in what is now Pakistan and India. This city existed over 4,000 years ago, yet it had features that many modern cities struggle to achieve. Streets were laid out in a grid pattern. Houses were built with standardized bricks. Most surprising of all, the city had an advanced drainage and sanitation system. Every home in Mohenjo-Daro had access to clean water, and waste was carried away through covered drains running beneath the streets. This level of urban planning suggests a deep understanding of public health and engineering. Even today, many parts of the world lack such well-organized systems. The people of the Indus Valley clearly valued cleanliness, order, and efficiency. What makes this civilization even more mysterious is that we still cannot read their writing. Thousands of seals and inscriptions have been found, but the language remains undeciphered. This means we know very little about their science, beliefs, or methods. It is possible that much of their technological knowledge disappeared when the civilization declined, leaving behind only silent ruins. In South America, high in the Andes Mountains, the Inca civilization built structures that continue to amaze engineers. Machu Picchu, one of their most famous cities, sits on a steep mountain ridge in an earthquake-prone region. Yet the buildings have survived centuries of earthquakes with little damage. How is this possible? The Inca used a technique called dry stone masonry. Stones were cut so precisely that they fit together without mortar. The blocks interlock in a way that allows them to move slightly during earthquakes, absorbing the energy instead of cracking. Some stones weigh many tons, yet they were shaped and placed with incredible precision. The Inca had no iron tools and no wheeled vehicles, yet they achieved results that modern builders admire. The Inca also developed advanced agricultural technology. They built terraces into mountainsides to prevent soil erosion and manage water flow. They created irrigation systems that still function today. They even experimented with crop diversity, growing plants at different altitudes to protect against famine. This shows a deep understanding of ecology and environmental balance. Across the ocean, in ancient Greece, technology took a different form, one focused on mechanics and knowledge. One of the most mysterious objects ever discovered is the Antikythera mechanism. Found in a shipwreck and dated to around 100 BCE, this device is often called the world's first computer. The Antikythera mechanism is made of bronze gears arranged in a complex system. When studied with modern imaging technology, scientists discovered that it was used to predict astronomical events such as eclipses, planetary movements, and even the dates of ancient Olympic Games. The level of mechanical skill required to build this device was thought to be impossible for that time period. This discovery forces us to rethink the history of technology. If the ancient Greeks could build such a complex machine, what else might they have created? How much knowledge was lost when libraries were destroyed and civilizations collapsed? The Antikythera mechanism suggests that ancient science was far more advanced than we once believed. In the Middle East, ancient Mesopotamia is often called the cradle of civilization. Here people developed writing, laws, and mathematics. But they also developed advanced engineering. The ancient Babylonians created detailed star charts and used mathematics to predict celestial events. Their understanding of geometry was so advanced that some of their methods are still used today. They also built massive structures called ziggurats, which required careful planning and engineering. These stepped towers were not only religious centers but also symbols of technological power. The Babylonians used complex systems to manage water from the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, controlling floods and supporting agriculture in a harsh environment. In ancient China, technological innovation was deeply connected to daily life. Long before Europe, the Chinese invented paper, gunpowder, the compass, and printing. But beyond these famous inventions, there were other technologies that remain less known. The ancient Chinese developed seismographs that could detect distant earthquakes. One such device, created in the 2nd century CE, could indicate the direction of an earthquake hundreds of kilometers away. They also mastered metallurgy, producing cast iron centuries before it appeared elsewhere. Chinese engineers built canals, locks, and water wheels that transformed transportation and agriculture. The Grand Canal, one of the longest man-made waterways in the world, was started over 2,000 years ago and is still in use today. In Africa, ancient civilizations also displayed remarkable technological skill. In what is now Mali, the city of Timbuktu became a center of learning during the medieval period. Scholars there studied astronomy, mathematics, and medicine. Ancient manuscripts reveal knowledge of planetary movements and solar cycles that rivaled European science of the same era. Further south, the ruins of Great Zimbabwe tell another story of lost knowledge. Massive stone walls were built without mortar, using carefully shaped stones stacked with precision. The scale and organization of the site suggest advanced social and engineering systems. Yet for many years, historians refused to believe that Africans could have built such structures, showing how bias can hide the truth about ancient technology. One of the most fascinating aspects of ancient technology is how closely it was connected to nature. Unlike modern society, which often tries to control or dominate the environment, ancient civilizations tended to work with natural forces. They studied the sun, the stars, the wind, and the water, learning how to use them effectively. Many ancient temples and monuments are aligned with solstices, equinoxes, and star movements. Stonehenge in England is a perfect example. Massive stones were arranged to mark the movement of the sun across the sky. This required careful observation over generations. Stonehenge was not just a monument, it was a scientific instrument. In Central America, the Maya civilization developed one of the most accurate calendars in history. They tracked time over cycles lasting thousands of years. Their understanding of astronomy allowed them to predict eclipses and planetary movements with great precision. They built observatories and temples aligned with celestial events. The Maya also developed advanced mathematics, including the concept of zero, long before it appeared in Europe. Their cities featured complex water management systems, reservoirs, and causeways. Yet much of their knowledge was destroyed when their books were burned during colonization, leaving only fragments of their achievements. A common question arises when studying these ancient technologies. Why did they disappear? Why did civilizations with such advanced knowledge collapse? The answers are complex. Climate change, war, disease, and environmental damage all played a role. In some cases, technology became too closely tied to social or religious systems, making it fragile when those systems failed. Another important factor is loss of knowledge. Before printing and digital storage, information was passed down by hand, through memory or fragile materials. When cities were destroyed or populations declined, libraries burned and experts died, taking their knowledge with them. What survived was often only stone and myth. It is also possible that ancient people chose different paths than we did. They may have focused on sustainable technologies rather than constant expansion. They may have valued balance over speed. In that sense, their technology was not inferior, just different. Today, scientists are beginning to learn from the past. Ancient building techniques are being studied for their sustainability and strength. Modern architects look at Roman concrete, which has survived for thousands of years and even grows stronger over time. Engineers study ancient water systems to design better irrigation in dry regions. The hidden technology of ancient civilizations reminds us of an important truth. Human intelligence is not new. Our ancestors were curious, creative, and capable of incredible achievements. They observed the world carefully and used what they learned to build societies that lasted for centuries. As we continue to uncover the secrets of the past, one question remains. How much knowledge is still buried beneath the ground, waiting to be rediscovered? How many inventions have been lost, and how many ideas could help us solve modern problems? As researchers dig deeper and technology improves, the silence of the past is slowly breaking. New tools like satellite imaging, ground-penetrating radar, and advanced scanning allow scientists to see what was once invisible. Entire cities are being discovered beneath forests, deserts, and oceans. Each discovery adds another piece to a puzzle that humanity has been trying to solve for centuries. In the dense jungles of Central America, for example, laser scanning technology has revealed massive Maya cities hidden under thick vegetation. These cities were far larger and more complex than anyone imagined. They had highways, defensive walls, and carefully planned neighborhoods. This discovery proves that ancient societies were capable of organizing millions of people and managing resources on a huge scale. It also shows how much history can disappear when nature slowly reclaims the land. Under the sea, similar surprises await. Near the coastlines of India, Japan, and the Mediterranean, underwater ruins suggest that ancient settlements were swallowed by rising sea levels after the last ice age. Some of these structures appear too organized to be natural formations. If these sites are confirmed as human-made, they could rewrite the timeline of civilization, pushing it further back than we ever thought possible. These discoveries raise uncomfortable questions. If advanced civilizations existed long before recorded history, why are they missing from our textbooks? One reason is that history is often written by those who survive and win. When cultures collapse or are conquered, their stories are lost or ignored. Another reason is that modern society sometimes struggles to accept ideas that challenge long-held beliefs. Admitting that ancient people were highly advanced forces us to rethink our idea of progress. There is also the problem of interpretation. Ancient technology does not always look like modern technology. We expect wires, engines, and metal machines. But ancient innovation often used stone, water, sound, and geometry. Some temples were designed to amplify sound in ways that still surprise acoustic engineers. Certain stone structures appear to interact with magnetic fields or vibrations. These technologies were subtle, natural, and deeply connected to the environment. In Peru, for example, there are ancient sites where carved stones seem to fit together like pieces of a puzzle. Some researchers believe these stones were softened using unknown plant-based techniques, allowing them to be molded before hardening again. While this idea remains debated, it reminds us that ancient science may have used methods we have forgotten rather than methods we recognize. Sound may have also played a role in ancient technology. In several ancient sites, chanting or clapping produces strange echoes that affect the human brain. Some temples were designed to create feelings of awe, fear, or calm. This suggests that ancient builders understood psychology and the power of sound. Their technology was not only physical but also emotional and mental. Another mystery lies in ancient maps and knowledge of the earth. Some old maps show coastlines that appear accurate even by modern standards, including regions that were supposedly unknown at the time. This has led some researchers to wonder whether ancient civilizations had advanced navigation skills or access to older sources of knowledge now lost.